Hello movie lovers, welcome to another interesting review. Have you ever waited anxiously for a movie premiere? Well, I did. I'm going to share my thoughts on Ghana's highly anticipated movie, Porn. Yeah, Porn. Porn now we name that. That's what we are talking about. The film was directed by Pascal Aka and it was executive produced by Richie Mensah. This film promises to keep you on the edge of your seat. So let's get into it. Before we get into the review, if it was any other film, maybe I would skip the premiere and watch it later. But because of the high anticipation around this particular film, we had to go for the premiere regardless. When I got to Accra, the Silverbird Cinema, the second show was happening, meaning there's been a first show already, and then there's a second show, which it has started already, so I couldn't join. I had to wait for the third show.
It's time for dinner, baby.
So judging from the turnout, like I said, I believe they had a very successful premiere, and that goes on to appreciate the massive promotion and then the marketing strategy they used. They made a whole lot of artworks, a whole lot of promotional videos, going on the street, selling tickets and all that, all on social media. And this is the results you are seeing.
I need to find a serial killer by any means necessary.
So the movie features a whole lot of actors and actresses like Ajete Anan, Nikki Samona, Prince David Osei, Lydia Forson, Richmond Amoakun, Sika Osei, Fred Amugi, among other actors and actresses.
What you are experiencing is what we call dissociative identity disorder.
I'm going to try as much as possible not to give you spoilers because the film is still in cinemas and people are still buying tickets to go and watch it. The summary of the story follows a detective who is suffering from dissociative identity disorder. He has multiple identities, and these identities show themselves or they are triggered by some childhood traumas he experienced.
It's a condition where a person has two or more distinct personalities. It means you have different parts of you that come out in different situations.
To break it down, he has different behaviors and identities. Like say, you know him to be very calm, but in a split second, he can switch to be a very aggressive person. And so that is what we term by multiple identity disorder. This guy has it, and so those identity or behaviors come off when he remembers some of his childhood traumas or certain things he went through when he was a boy.
I'm not crazy, right?
Like I go beat you like my own bastard child.
That is one piece of the story. Meanwhile, there's this series of murders happening in the city. Someone has been killing a group of people, and the killer always leaves a chess piece at every crime scene.
When I saw the second killing in the news and the fact that the killer left a chess piece after every killing.
And if you follow the story, you realize that all those victims of the serial killer were members of an unpopular group called the Grandmasters. And this is happening to them because of something bad they did years ago.
Who are you?
I'm the queen.
Like I said, I'm not going to give you spoilers because the film is still in the cinema and people are buying tickets to watch. But if you ask me, the movie Porn is centered on revenge and a very twisted betrayal.
This serial killer will not stop until the king is dead.
So watching the film in the cinemas, personally, I got a feel that the cinema space in Ghana is gradually changing. This is not a perfect job, I'm going to get there, but this tells that the cinema in Ghana is gradually improving.
Freeze!
When you watch the film, the visuals are very good when it comes to their shots and their camera angles. The colors are very catchy and cinematic. Whoever worked on the colors of this film knows exactly what he is doing because I've watched a whole lot of African productions and I can tell that this coloring on this film has its own unique feel. It gives you some cinematic look and a modernized feature.
Like I go beat you like my own bastard child. What you gonna do?
When you check the colors of young Ajete's scenes with his parents, very good, very cinematic color. I mean, the colors on the film is 100% for me. And obviously, we've mentioned the story. The story is super engaging and very creative. If you watch to the end, that's when you understand the creativity in the story. And one thing I can't ignore is the impressive performances of the actors and actresses on this project.
Come into the house, there's someone there.
I'll touch briefly on individual performances later on in this video, but let's talk about one thing they did which is very impressive and nice. There's a crime scene, and I think this is the first time in Ghana film that I'm seeing them use forensic experts. They actually have a crime scene with forensic experts doing their own investigations as well. They are looking for fingerprints, they are looking for shoe prints, they are looking for patterns and all that, and I think that was very impressive and thoughtful.
This killer knows my problem. With no traces of evidence.
Like I said, porn is not a perfect job. Even though the film is good, it is not a perfect job. One of the major downsides of this film is the fact that they shot most of the scenes in a studio. So to be able to have a successful studio shoot, you need to have enough studio space. And these people, in my opinion, they lack the studio space. Most of their sets were very tight in terms of the area, the space or the area they used. Like the police station, like the bank, and some of the offices. You can tell that, okay, this place is too small for this scene. So watching the film, you can tell that they had limited space to create their sets. Because if they had bigger space to create the sets, they could have created much more engaging scenes than they did. Even though they tried to infuse passers-by here and there in some of the scenes, you can still tell that, okay, their movements are limited. You just walk from here to here. You can't really express the movement. It was very tight in my opinion. And because of that, it looked as if I was watching a stage play.
When I saw the second killing in the news and the fact that the killer left a chess piece after every killing.
And then when it comes to their plots, there was this point that all of a sudden I saw Ajete Anan having an envelope with a name written that this is the king.
It's over. The king is dead.
And one thing I want to talk about, this is actually funny. When Ajete Anan realized he had murdered Lydia Forson, he quickly ran to his therapist, which is Sika Osei. It was in the middle of the night. So he called her and Sika answers the phone while sitting in her couch. I was expecting that she should be in bed, but she wasn't, which is fine. She was sitting in her couch in her nightwear with her makeup on point, intact. So I'm like, okay, who sleeps with makeup on? Isn't that concerning? Why is her makeup on point at that time of the night? She is in her nightgown. Obviously, she has freshened up, about to sleep. So that part was very funny. I think they missed it. But then we should always consider the fact that makeup in the bedroom should be different from makeup when going to, different scene, different tone, different look, and different makeup should be applied.
We depend on you to solve the cases, to catch these criminals.
On the part of their performances, I think I should give a standing ovation to Ajete Anan, Gloria Safo, and Sika Osei. Honestly speaking, they have really surprised me. Ajete Anan is a very good actor. That is the primary notion, or that's the primary knowledge we have, that Ajete is good. But in this film, Porn, Ajete Anan has super impressed me.
I need to find a serial killer by any means necessary.
Let me break this down. We all know jollof is nice. Everyone like it. Just like cocaine jollof inside Sunyani market. If you know, you know. Jollof is nice. We all like it. But in this situation, you get to eat a very, very good jollof. That's what we are talking about here. Ajete Anan is good, but in this movie, Ajete Anan has impressed me. With the switch of character, everything was on point. His demeanor, his mood, his facial expressions, everything is on point. We know that Ajete is good. We understand that, okay, Ajete is good. But when you watch him in this film, Sika Osei also proved me wrong. Because usually I know the lady to be emceeing and then TV or something like that. But her role in this film, her demeanor, her facial expressions, her acting was also good. I like it. I enjoyed watching her. And Gloria Safo also did very well.
The politicians want the people to focus on elections, and not some serial killer.
The commander role she played fit her, and I think she killed the role. Gloria has been on the screens for years. I mean, she's had challenging roles, but I believe this must be one of the challenging roles she had to do, and she pulled it off seamlessly.
You can't be scaring people about a serial killer on the loose, especially with elections coming up.
So the performances in this film, honestly speaking, is very good.
This killer is my problem.
If you ask me, Porn is one of the movies that will always keep you guessing on what is going to happen next. From the storyline to the stunning visuals and the impressive performances on this film, I honestly believe that the Ghanaian cinema space is gradually changing and it is picking up.
Like I go beat you like my own bastard child. What you gonna do?
I watched the film, I enjoyed it, and this is my thoughts on it. Thank you so much for watching today's video. My name is Steve Nader Jr. Please like this video, share, and let me know your opinions in the comment section. I'll see you in our next video.